What is good, Gray Gang? We're out here today. We're actually going to be doing minnow trapping. If you don't know, minnow trapping may or may not be my God-given gift. Hashtag Jesus. Well, maybe not, but I am a self-proclaimed expert. But today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a minnow trap for basically about $1. The only thing it costs you is this, and this is recyclable, so you probably use the contents in it. And then as for the bottle itself, you're probably going to throw it away or maybe recycle it, but in this case, we're going to recycle it and actually try to get your minnows with it. Now, all it is this here is a water thing. It had water in it, but you can use the 2-liter that pop comes in, but it's big enough, and that's what we need. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this handle thing because I have no use for it at all. There we go. Don't need that anymore. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out right here. I'm going to look at the funneling part. Look about where it stops, like funneling, which is about right here for this one. And I'm going to cut right here on this line. Now, if you're using the 2-liter bottle, it's basically the same exact process. You just go to about 1/3 of the bottle from the funnel. And then you just cut it right through there. I'm bleeding now. Well, be careful whenever you're doing this, especially if you're using a knife as sharp as the KG pocket knife. But now that you have the cone part separated from the actual holding part, you're going to turn this around instead of like this. Turn it around and stick it in there just like that. And that right there, the minnow trap basis is done. You'll unscrew the lid. What's going to happen is the minnow's going to swim through here, go through the hole into the big holding area. And then because they're minnows and their brain is like this big, they're not going to be smart enough to swim back out the hole. I'm bleeding pretty good. Oh gosh. I might have to go to the emergency room. But at this point right now, the trap's still not actually done. We gotta poke a lot of holes in it so that it'll actually sink in the water. And then we've gotta tie this in place, this here into this, whether it be with staples or string, however you wanna do it, or wire. Either way is good. Now, the best thing to do is go get a bit... Wow, I'm bleeding extremely bad now. What in the world? Now, the best thing for you to do would to go get a drill holes all over this. Like, you can't drill too many holes as long as it's not busting and cracking out the sides. Besides that, I'd say you'll be good. So, tell you what, Gray Gang, while I'm sitting here sucking all the blood out of my hand, we're gonna go get a drill. We're gonna put a lot of holes in this thing. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die out here. Blood loss due to homemade minnow trap. I bet that's never happened before. I don't know. Maybe it has. Probably some kid named Jimmy done it. Went out there just trying to catch him from the crawdads and ended up cutting himself and dying. Poor Jimmy. But anyways, let's go get the drill. I'll set you on this 118-year-old motorcycle while I go back here and I try to find me a drill. There we go. Nope, ain't drills it. Well, guys, never mind. I actually can't find the drill. So I'll get back with you guys in about 5 minutes. Or ever how long it takes me to find my... I found the drill. I'm just going to go rapid fire and, you know, try to drill some holes. Well, that ain't... What's going on here? Well, I officially nominate this drill bit as the dullest drill bit in history. Took me 5 minutes to drill 3 holes. What is that? Goodness, son, this is gonna take forever. I tell you what, guys, since this is like for real gonna take forever because this drill bit's so awful, I'm gonna set you guys down and I'll get back with you guys once I have all these drills holed. No, all these holes drilled. Okay, bye. Okay, that right there, that's about all the holes we gonna get, man. This drill's about to die. It's so unsharp, man. I don't even know. Oh my God. I wouldn't be surprised if that drill bit gets retired tonight. I tell you what, man, it took me 20 minutes to drill those holes. And I didn't get many drilled at all. Let's turn around here and see if any of these items can help us. No. No. Now let's just roll over here. We'll staple this thing shut. I actually went and got a stapler here a few minutes ago. But I'm gonna set y'all down right there. Hopefully y'all like that view. And I'm going to take this right here, shove the nozzle or nose con in the thingy like this. But we don't want to go too far to where it's, you know, we want to leave enough room for a minnow to actually swim in this part right here. I hope I didn't mess up the view for you guys. Too bad. But and now I'm going to come in there and I'm just going to try to staple it the best I can. And I guess that's how it's gonna have to be, because that's as many staples as gonna go in. And now, since we got this thing, we got holes drilled in it, that way it can fill up with water. Everything is looking good. Even my finger stopped bleeding. Believe it or not, I may not have to go to the emergency room today. The knife is still bloody, so we're gonna turn that blade around, that way it can't get me no more. And now it's time for one of the last parts. I actually have to tie a string to it so that, I can throw it in the creek and retrieve it. I'm just going to be using some simple bank line right here. This is like, I don't know, 100 and something pound test. You can tie this up 1,000 different ways, with string, with wire, wood, not wood, what am I talking about? Maybe some fishing line even, for sure. Definitely braid or something, heavy duty. What I originally wanted to do is, just tie it around 2 of the holes, but I just tied it through one of the holes and tied a knot to where now it can't come out. Anyways, guys, honestly, that's good. I'll go put dog food in this thing, go down to a creek, throw it in the creek. I might actually put some rocks in the bottom. That way it'll help it sink and assist it sinking. And then we'll leave it in there overnight, come back the next day, which is what overnight means. And then we'll just collect the minnows and maybe put them in the pool pond or something like that. But anyways, guys, we're done here. Let's go get the dog food and head on down to the creek. There we go. We don't need too much dog food, just a little bit. That should be plenty right there. Oh, here we go. We're down here by the creek. Out here on the mule, of course, because what else are we going to drive besides the trapping shack on wheels to go catch the minnows? If I don't get snake bit, we should catch some minnows, but goodness, it's thick over here. There's a ton of minnows down there, I can promise you that. I just gotta make sure to watch my step, make sure that I don't, well, like I just said, get bit by a snake, and also don't fall in the pond, because I don't even know where the edge is. Kind of redneck rigging, I guess, but I'm just gonna try to toss it right over there. I remember last year I created one of these, and I've created a ton of these in my lifetime, I guess you'd say, but the problem has always been with them sinking. Hey, this one actually acts like it's gonna try to sink pretty good. This one seems like it's actually not having too hard of a time, so we may actually do good. See, there we go, it's already fully submerged now. And now I'm just trying to set it down in the perfect spot. And right there, it's in a perfect spot. The funnel side is right here, so the fish will come over here to swim in. A lot of times what will happen is if you don't make these perfectly with the holes and the string in the right spot, it'll go down there and it'll sit straight up. But it seems with this one right here, we've done a pretty good job. And if I'm going to be completely honest, guys, we're going to let this sit for about 24 hours. And there's no doubt in my mind we're going to come back to quite a few minnows. I mean, if you make these right, they're just as effective as a real minnow trap. So now all we have to do is just go home and wait for about, well, like I said, 24 hours. But I also want to remind you guys about the sale going on right now at KendallGray1.com/shop. Today is actually the last day. I might extend it till tomorrow. But what it is there's the gray grippers and the lanyard care packages. They're actually knocked down 33%, which is honestly probably the biggest sale I've ever had on there. But if maybe you're interested in one of those care packages, head on over to the site, KendallGray1.com/shop. Check it out. If you don't want anything, hey boys, that's completely fine. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna put the cap on the camera, and then whenever I take the cap off the camera, it's gonna be right around 24 hours. You get the point. Bye. Okay, guys, we're back at the creek now. Today's Abram was actually with me. The minnow trap is right over there. We'll go ahead and get the bucket because I'm definitely expecting to catch a bunch of minnows. If you're Abram or someone who randomly skipped this far in the video, let me just go over a quick summary. So yesterday, I took a weird looking water bottle, cut it in half, and made a minnow trap out of it. That's about it. Now let's actually come in here and collect the minnow trap and see if we caught any. Okay, for a second I thought the minnow trap was gone, but it is actually moved. I don't know, that may be good or bad. We'll pull it up, see what happens. We got any? Oh, we definitely got some. I don't know how many we got. It doesn't look like a ton. We definitely got a few in there for sure. Now, the one problem about this minnow trap is that there's really no way to open it up to be reused. So, hold that for a second, Abram. I'm gonna have to break the trap. Okay, this may be a problem. I don't know how to open it. I think I'm actually gonna have to sacrifice the trap on this one. I'm trying to cut half the bottom out. That way I can actually get the minnows out. So, but that's okay, because it is only $1. Huh?
You don't have to cut the whole thing.
Yeah, it's too late now. What do you mean? Cut the thing
out?
Well,
if you just cut a slit in it and then like opened it,
yeah,
you could still save the trap, really.
You know the best part about this? It was only $1. And we could just make another one. But let's go ahead, empty this out, see what we ended up getting. A lot of the dog food's actually still in it, I don't know. Which, I mean, we really didn't catch many, but that's okay. So we got one. I'll go ahead and put them in the minnow trap. There's 3. And then 4, we got 2 pretty big ones. And then maybe one more, so is that 5 or 6? I think that's 6. And then we got a lot of rocks, and those are the same rocks that we actually had before. So not too bad for a $1 trap that I kind of just ruined, but $1 trap, and it caught minnows just as good as a normal minnow trap. But anyways, guys, there we go. $1 minnow trap, basically 100% recycled. And we came out here, we put it in the creek, and we actually caught minnows off of it. And pretty good ones too, like they weren't just little shrimp. They were some pretty good size ones. Now, of course, if you really wanted to make this to where you could come out here and change it frequently, I'm sure you could work out a little trap door like Abram was saying a minute ago. You know, make it like where it hinges and then you can shut it back. Me, on the other hand, I don't know. I guess I don't think that much. I just went and cut it open. Hashtag surgery. But as you know, we're right around 900 something thousand subscribers right now. We're going to try, we have a goal right now. We want 1 million subscribers before the end of May. And we all know it's not going to be easy to do that. But with the power of the Gray Gang, I know how strong you are. We can definitely do it. And so me and Abram been talking. We thought that if the Gray Gang could get to 1 million before the end of May, we were going to do something pretty special. And so I thought about it a little bit, and I decided if you guys, the Gray Gang, can grow to 1 million by the end of May, which is May 30th or 31st, I'm not really sure how many days are in May, but it's one of those two, I will buy a 50 cal. And that ain't no cheap gun, okay? But if the Gray Gang don't get that big that quick, I tell you right now, I ain't buying it. I'll save my money and buy something important. That's actually kind of useful. But since it is Saturday, it's about that time for the verse of the week. Ooh, this is a good one, dude. This is a good one. But as it is Saturday, it's time for the verse of the week. Again, just like last week, there's not a particular verse, but this one really goes along good with last week's. So since last Saturday, maybe you've decided to bring God in, you know, start asking him stuff instead of just believing the one truth that the devil tells us. That is absolutely awesome, guys, and I absolutely love it for you. But now I want to answer a question that's kind of popular. What happens whenever I have a problem, I have this problem and I ask God, but then nothing happens? Like, and one of the biggest answers to that is a lot of times your timeline and God's timeline may not always match up, and most of the time they don't at all. Now, even though you want it to end now, that may not be part of God's plan. And God's plan isn't that it's just going to magically disappear right now. All I can truly say is that God's timeline is the best timeline, and it is not wrong. I can promise that. I can testify. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, guys, I really hope that helped, because that was one of my favorites. It may even be better than last week's, and I stinking loved last week's. It was awesome. But anyways, guys, hope that helped some of y'all. And if it did, please go tell me in the comments, because it just helps me, you know, mentally, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you for watching another video from Kendall Gray, and remember, hashtag Jesus and hashtag Gray Gang.